Well, every year we pick a different book on a different diversity. So this year, you just go ahead and go with wherever you want to be. This year, because it was the 75th anniversary of the internment of the Japanese, this was a great book.
The book is really a love story, but it's a story of a young Chinese-American boy and a Japanese-American girl, and it's set during the time of the Japanese internment. And so it's a couple that they are going to be separated by life's circumstance, so to speak. And it's also the story of these characters later on in the 80s.
I wanted a redemptive ending, and I couldn't find redemption in the 40s, because for Japanese Americans coming home from camp, that's not redemption, that's quiet relief at best. And so I wanted to jump to another time period, and the 80s made sense. I'm a kid of the 80s, but also that's when there were reparations, and that's when the Sansei, the third generation, began to become aware of this. And perhaps there was a dialogue for the first time, but many families didn't talk about it to their children.
First published in 2009, Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet becomes the 10th H.B. Reads One book. And just like many of the previous 9 books before, this 10th, by author Jaime Ford, uses conflict to tug at the heartstrings of its readers.
He's just a great author, and I really enjoyed his speech. It was really good to sit and listen to him.
Beautifully written, really. You see what he's about, and you see the connection, when he talks about a love story. I mean, it really truly was a love story. It's beautiful.
This one here, I didn't know too much about what happened in this book. Coming from a small town in Montana, I didn't really know too much about this, so it really opened my eyes, and it was very emotional for me to read this book.
I read the book, years ago when it first came out and loved it. And I follow Jaime Ford on social media, and the humor and the compassion and the empathy and this deep story that comes out in the book comes out in real life when you're talking to Jaime and listening to him as an author. But also, if you're not following him on social media, you should follow him on Twitter and Facebook because he's hilarious.
The point of tears, like real tears. It's not even like it's my allergies. No, it's like just crying.
Now, part of the charm of H.B. Reads One book is the fact the city does reads one book. Like when the author takes to the schools to discuss with school kids in an open forum. The book, paid for by H.B. Reads, is an extra curriculum plus, especially in today's cash-strapped district. So everyone who wants the read can have one. That's why donations to this nonprofit corporation is so important. With this live HB Central Library author talk and book signing, also supported by Bellaterra's Barnes & Noble, the parallels to the Nakamuras mirror that of this now popular read.
So I was very much in the internment camp. I was one of the first people to be interned at Manzanar, which was the first camp built. He went to an assembly center first, like Camp Harmony in the book.
But you never met in the internment?
No, not until afterwards.
Amazing.
After all, she was who were you, a sophomore in high school, and I was a junior in high school. And so we were in different incarceration camps.
We lived in different locations also.
H.B. Reads One book, a now classic story of its own, with every read.
Like my grandmother used to watch game shows and tell me they were educational.
It's a good year. It's a good year, another good year. We only ever have really nice authors.
10th year, it's an honor to be here. I'm glad that this program is so well supported, and the library is amazing, so keep supporting it, keep using your superpowers for good.
From the corner of Cultural Center and Central Library.
Happy 10-year anniversary, HB Reads!
This is Matt Liffering for Surf City Highlights.